nearly got my mother killed.
Leave Anya alone. We don't need Noma coming around here sniffing shit out.
They know exactly what the got going on.
Doesn't know when enough is enough.
Just say the word.
Turn around.
Nothing is gonna stop me.
You can't kill me. Nothing can.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, Episode 5, the mid-season finale. This is the recap. I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And what did y'all think about episode 5? Did it live up to the hype? You know what I'm saying? As I told you guys last night, it was just an okay episode. For it to be a mid-season finale, of course, it was high expectations for the episode, especially it being the final season of the show. We saw Tariq all up in his head off that acid. I see a lot of you guys comparing this to Franklin Saint from Snowfall when he had like a similar moment. Man, it is what it is. I know your boy Franklin Saint, he was really on one. That scene was crazy. The whole bodies scene was legendary, of course. With this, it was just okay. You know what I'm saying? I did not feed into all the hype about Ghost returning. Of course, when they mention Ghost's name, it's just promotion in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The man ain't about to show up at all, especially in this season. That's just my opinion, but I understand it's going to always be theories out there. I told you guys, I'm not knocking anybody's fan theories. It is what it is. It's Power. It's a TV show. We all got different thoughts. What do you guys think about the whole Salim thing? I asked y'all last night because they did not give us a 100% confirmation that Salim is up out of here. I told you guys, I don't believe anything that actors talk about anymore when it comes to these TV shows, because we've seen time and time again that they will say anything just to promote the show. And then when we watch the show, it is something completely different. So as of right now, I didn't see a confirmation that he's up out of here. Tariq said that he did have a, confrontation with Salim, but that was it. And he don't know where he's at. Well, we gonna see. You know what I'm saying? I know the Power fans, they like, look, we need to see that body. We need to see, that he's up out of here 100% for sure. So I already know it's going to be theories about if Salim is really alive or not. Now, I am glad that Tariq did ask Diana, like, how did you know that I'm the father? Well, she told him he hit Raw and Salim, they use protection. So that's what she is saying. But at the end of the day, as I told you guys last night, if I'm Tariq, I'm still getting a test. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what Diana talking about. Remember, we talking about dirty Diana. We can't trust anything that she talking about. And also in this episode, we saw your boy Zion. He pretty much punked Noma out. You know what I'm saying? Got his table, made her move. I'm like, damn. Noma's supposed to be this big bad character, but as we see time and time again, she ain't really that big and bad in my opinion. And I've been saying this since day one. They're trying to build her up or whatever, like she's so tough and all this stuff, like she's very ruthless. We've seen her drop people off, but I'm not getting that fearful type of a character. Y'all let me know down below if that was Rock. If that was Rock in Noma's position at that table, having a conversation, a business conversation with somebody, what y'all think Rock would have did if Zion popped up? You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't like comparing the shows, but man, I just could not see Rock getting up. It would have been some action popping off up in that scene. Raquel Thomas ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? That girl, she tough. You know what I'm saying? She tough. But it is what it is, man. We did see a whole lot in this episode, but it was just an okay episode in my opinion. The whole thing with Detective Don Carter, I was waiting on that moment to happen. I mean, his character description has been out since last year, and you can tell he was up to something from the jump, right? And him not really liking Kamal Tate like that, you already know what time it is. He got his own operations going. Now, what y'all think gonna happen when Kamal Tate figures out everything? This is why Detective Don Carter's team told, Detective Don Carter, we can't keep his dumb ass around, because they know it's just a matter of time before he finds out the truth. And when that happens, it's going to be an issue. And Kamal Tate has a high chance of being dropped off. And I'm still wondering, where in the hell is Rashad O'Dall Tate? You know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting to see his character, right? A lot of the fans, they've been talking about it, but we have not seen him yet. I know back in season 2, Kamal Tate, he got a promotion from Rashad Tate, but we did not see him at all in season 3. So now in season 4, we're seeing Kamal Tate, but we're not seeing Rashad Tate. I mean, it's crazy, right? But hopefully in part 2, we see your boy Rashad Tate, especially since this is the final season. And we know Rashad Tate, he pissed off a lot of people, including RSJ. And it's just characters that we saw last season that should be popping up, but they're not popping up. This is one of the reasons why I say this show, it definitely needs more episodes because it's a lot of stuff going on, a whole lot going on. So, I mean, we're going to see how they give us these last 5 episodes. We have to wait 2 months and, you know, it is what it is. Now, we're going to hop right into this recap. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 5, the mid-season finale titled Ego Death? Now, the episode starts out with your boy Tariq. He is laid out. We see what happened the night before, and of course he did not only kick it with Anya Covington, but yes, he clapped those cheeks on the first night. So we know that girl is a freak, and hell, we see where she gets it from. Her mom, she's a freak her damn self. And Tariq, he is still trying to keep tabs on Anya Covington, you know, getting her number and texting her throughout the episode, basically trying to control the board just in case he has to make a move, just in case Noma decides that she wants to try something. And this is a very smart tactic by your boy Tariq because we know Noma, she is a threat. Now, we get to Brayden and Elle. We find out that Elle has sickle cell. She's taking meds for that. At the same time, she is telling Brayden, don't feel bad for her and all that. And she does coke to help out with her other symptoms and all that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, that is kind of sad. But in this episode, Elle was doing entirely too much. And we know that Brayden now has a soft spot for her. And he wants to protect her at all costs. But when it's all said and done, this ain't going to work, Brayden. You trying to defend Elle, you know, snorting coke and doing all this stuff with her. It's a bad move, a very bad move. And we know what time it is. Going off those parallels, we know this storyline is not going to end well for Brayden and Elle. Now, we get to Monet Tejada and the family. Of course, she wants to make sure that the family is all together once again and all on good terms. But Kane, he's not having it. He's like, look, he's not about to sit down and eat with people that try to take out his moms. It's just not happening, right? And we know he tells Diana, having that baby is going to be the worst decision that you're ever going to make in your life. So, you know, she's thinking about all the different things in her head. Kane tells Drew, how's your face? Had that boy pissed off. Now, after Kane leaves, we know Drew's like, look, he ain't really trying to be doing anything Monet talking about because Monet has not apologized yet. And she's putting all the blame on everybody else, putting the blame on Tariq. Kane was putting the blame on Tariq. I mean, y'all need to blame someone else. How about yourself for once? Monet definitely needs to blame herself. We saw her backstory. We already know what time it is. So start blaming yourself. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just the outsiders. It's y'all. All the stupid decisions y'all continue to make. Now, we know Diana does tell Monet that it's not going to be easy getting the family back together, especially after all the stuff that they've been through. And we know Monet tells her her mission is to make sure that the family is good. And basically, she's going to make sure everything is okay because she wants to protect her grandchild. But I believe it ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work at all. This whole thing with the baby, this storyline, it's just yielding very deadly consequences in my opinion. Now, Tariq and Brayden have a conversation and Tariq tells him that Diana is pregnant and he is the father. He does not know how it happened, especially after, you know, him hooking up with her one time. So he's all in his head. At the same time, he tells Brayden about him hooking up with Anya Covington. Brayden tells him, look, don't mess around with her because we don't need Noma sniffing stuff out because it can mess up business, right? So I guess Tariq at the time does, you know, agree to not seek revenge and focus on the business. But y'all know he is not leaving Anya Covington alone. Not at all. Now, we get to Anya and Noma. And of course, Noma finds the drugs. I told you guys that was going to happen. We knew this just based off those pictures. And she asked her where she got the drugs. And Anya tells her she got it at an underground party at Stansfield. So y'all know Noma's going to start digging around and she's going to question Effie later on in the episode. Now, Tariq and Dirty Diana have a conversation. Of course, Tariq is still pissed off that Diana gave up the location on Tasha. And, you know, they had like a back and forth moment. And Tariq is like, how do you even know I'm the father? This is the question that all the fans have been wanting to know, where apparently she did not let Salim hit Raw. They used protection, but she let Tariq hit Raw, straight raw dogged her out, and now she's telling him she knows for sure he is the father, but Tariq, he's like, man, I don't know about that. Now, they still end up talking about what's going to happen as far as what Diana is going to decide. She says she does not know yet, but if she does have the baby, she does not want her child being around this game, and she wants to be clean. And the people around her, they need to be clean as well. And she told Tariq she will let him know later on in the episode as far as what she's going to do. Tariq had a pissed off look on his face like, man, I cannot believe that I am in this situation, and he feels like he has no control over anything. All I know is this, Raw Dog Charles will be very proud of your boy Tariq right now. Now, we get to Kamal, Tate, and Detective Don Carter, the whole task force. We know that Kamal, he wants to continue to press Tariq, and we know Detective Don Carter, he's going to put pressure on the Tejadas, but it seems like his task force is not really feeling Kamal at all. As I told you guys, this ain't going to end well, because we know when Kamal finds out what they're really doing, his life will be on the line, and he has a high chance of being taken out. But the game plan is basically to follow Tariq and the Tejadas to see who's going to lead them to the plug in order to make a bust. But we know Detective Don Carter, he is going to be the one that catches Monet and Drew in the act. But Krillin Head Tate's days just may be numbered. Hopefully we get the return of Rashad Odall Tate in part 2, but we're going to find out. Now, Noma, she decides to question Effie about these drugs. She believes that this is Effie's drugs and Effie sold to her daughter. And Effie's like, look, this is not me. You know what I'm saying? I had nothing to do with this or whatever. So now she knows it is Tariq. And the look on Effie's face, to me, it was like, man, she's going to try to take out Tariq. It seems like Effie wants to protect Tariq. And you can tell by the look on Noma's face, she understands that Effie most likely still is holding something from her. And maybe Effie still has feelings for Tariq. I believe so, just based off that first episode when Noma confronted Effie and told her, didn't you used to sleep with him? And Effie had that same look on her face when Noma told her he needs to go. So this whole thing with Tariq and Effie is going to be exposed soon, and it ain't looking too good for Effie's character. Now, Davis McLean continues to lose workers at his law firm. It ain't looking good because this is the last thing that he wants, but it is what it is. Now, we know Tariq and Brayden, they come and drop him off his cut, which was perfect timing for him because he definitely needs the money with all the stuff that he's going through. Now, once again, they give us the Drew Tejada art storyline or whatever. I talked about this when I did Drew's description breakdown. This is what, your boy Drew really wants to do. He did not really want to be in the drug game. He wanted to focus on art. And just like in the past, I believe this whole storyline as far as his artwork is not going to play out well because he's still involved in the drug game and he's entirely too deep, especially dealing with Detective Don Carter later on in the episode. It's just not happening for your boy Drew. Now we get to your boy Brayden and he's getting hemmed up by Zion. Zion understands that the Russians, of course, they got hemmed up earlier on in the season and they still, getting work. And he's like, man, I know they got somebody supplying them. I know you know something. You talking about loyalty and all that. Let me know what time it is. So, of course, he did tell Zion about Noma and, her supplying the Russians. And this is how Zion knew. And this is why he confronted Noma later on in the episode. Zion did call him a tiny Tommy or whatever, But your boy Brayden, that boy on that coke, he making all types of mistakes. And he's talking entirely too much. I don't care what Zion was doing. You're talking too damn much. Now, we get to Noma and Kane, and they have come to confront Tariq. And Tariq is like, look, he ain't selling drugs. This is just a party. He don't know what they talking about. It's not his. But y'all know Kane, he's like, look, man, I know when he is lying, and he's straight up lying right now. So they want to basically take Tariq out right there. Kane is like, look, do I got to drag you out? Tariq sees Anya Covington. He's like, okay, let me go ahead and walk to her and create a distraction. And once Noma sees her daughter, things change. Anya is like, really? You following me? Like, what's going on? I mean, this basically makes Noma change her whole game plan. And we know Kane tells Tariq, look, I'll see you again. We know Noma pretty much tells Kane that she has to make sure she chooses her next move real carefully because she does not want her daughter knowing about the business. So, it's going to be issues with the two. It's not over yet, but this was a very smart move by Tariq. Having Aya Covington come there, it basically messed everything up, but we know he's going to have to deal with Noma and Kane very soon. Now, Braden's in the back snorting coke. Tariq catches him in the act. Braden talking about he was just heading out there. Like, really? No. Your head was snorting coke. That's what you was doing. Now, they go back and forth about what's going on with Noma. And then Tariq is like, look, I'll talk to you later. We know Elle, she is there. And Elle's like, look, don't worry about me. I know everything. So now Tariq understands that Braden has been running his mouth. Braden talking about she figured it out and all that stuff. Look, at the end of the day, this girl is a liability. She knows entirely too much. I understand what Braden was telling Tariq as far as always looking out for himself, which is true. Tariq gonna do what he gotta do for himself. At the same time, Braden, you cannot be opening up your mouth to this girl. That is a problem, right? And I understand that Braden did save Tariq at the end of season 3. He lost his family. He's going through a lot. But snorting coke, giving up intel to Zion and to Elle, that's a no-no. You doing entirely too much, and you're going to put yourself along with Tariq's, life in danger with all these risky moves. But y'all let me know how y'all see this playing out. It just does not seem like it's going good for Braden and Tariq as of right now. Now we get to Monet and Drew, and Monet finally apologizes, right? She finally puts blame on herself for what she's done, and Drew now sits down and he's having this conversation with her. And we know Monet, she wants to keep the family together, or, at least help the family get back together. And she understands that she wants to get back into the game and make some moves. Drew tells her that he's pretty much done with the game, but he is willing to help her out. He is one and done, and that's it. He's out, right? We know he does tell her about, basically getting some soldiers, and they're going to rob Noma's product. So this is the game plan to help out Noma, get the family back together, and for him to finally be out, get his cut, and finally work on his art. But we know that game plan is not going to work because Detective Don Carter is going to mess everything up. Now, we get to Elle and Braden. They're having a conversation, and Elle, she decides to get back at Tariq for what he was talking about, and she slips some acid in his drink, right? Braden is pissed off, like, really? Like, Tariq doesn't even smoke or drink like that, and you decide to do this? And we know he has to go and check up on his boy. Now, we know Tariq, y'all, he was on one. He was seeing, all types of things, right? I guess he was seeing dead people like Kendrick Lamar. And of course, we know he saw, him and his son, aka Lorenzo St. Patrick, Diana, the life that it could be, the life that it's not gonna be, because Diana, she ain't in the right parallel. So this whole thing probably won't even happen. But we know Tariq, he's all in his head. We see the exact same scene that we saw in Power Season 6 when Tariq took out Ghost, but this time it's Tariq. Tariq is Ghost, and of course we see Tariq come in with the same outfit on, and of course he's talking about he's going to do things better than his pops and all that stuff that we heard Tariq talk about numerous of times. I mean, Tariq has always said that he wants to do things better than his dad, and he has a way. So we see Tariq pull the trigger on himself in this dream type sequence or whatever. And, it is what it is. I know a lot of the fans was thinking that Ghost was going to pop back up in that teaser trailer. As I always told you guys, that was not going to happen at all. I mean, we know Amari Hardwick, he got to get paid in order to come back. But it doesn't matter. I can guarantee you that the fans continue to talk about this. And hell, we got 5 more episodes left. Y'all already know it's going to be different theories out there saying that Ghost is going to return in the season finale. But time and time again, those theories continue to get proven wrong, and Ghost has not popped back up yet. This is just a way to get the fans all hyped up, giving us those parallels, us seeing like similar things from the OG Power. It's just all promotion in my opinion, and it's just shock value moments. But y'all let me know, man, what do y'all think about that whole thing with Tariq being on acid and him seeing different things in his life? I mean, I know your girl Diana was telling him you promised you was going to get out the game and all that stuff. I mean, it seems like it's a life of misery, right? A life that Ghost tried to protect Tariq from. The life that, Ghost told Tariq, you don't need to be doing this because your life is going to be basically a living hell. But this is what he has decided that he wants to do. And regardless of what Tariq does do by the end of this season, these consequences, it ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying? It's not looking good. And his story definitely not looking good based off what we're seeing right now. Defeating all of his enemies and staying out of prison, along with protecting his family and himself, realistically speaking, based off what we're seeing right now, it ain't looking too good. But we gonna see how they end it out by the end of the season if Tariq is able to do what he's been saying since the very beginning, and that is to be in the game and, of course, have a legit life. He feels like he can control the board, but it's easier said than done. Now, we know Brayden does tell Tariq that he got dosed. It's just a big prank going on the campus, so that's all. Now, Diana is lighting the candle for Lorenzo. We know she's lighting it for Freaky Zeke, and she said her friend, which we know most likely is your boy Salim. Now, in this scene, to me, it feels like they're foreshadowing death. Could it be the end for Dirty Diana? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that baby, it ain't going to make it. That's what I'm thinking. It's just not going to happen. You can just tell that something bad is going to happen within the whole storyline with Diana. They did mention that even though that you die, the soul still lives. So what's going to happen next in this whole Diana storyline? Now, Noma meets up with Wiley once again, and now they're talking about those contracts and business. And as they're talking, your boy Zion, he pops up to the party and he ruins everything. I mean, he pretty much checked Noma, made her move out of that table to another location, and pretty much told her he knows what she's doing, and he's not liking that she's basically on his territory, and that's a problem. Now, I'm not expecting her to fight a grown man at all, but I'm going to tell you right now, as I told you guys earlier, Raquel Thomas, she's not going. Plain and simple. It would have been action popping off in this scene right here because Rock would not move. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Now, we know Noma, she does go back and tell Kane, like, have you been talking about me to people and all that stuff? Always putting the blame on somebody else. Kane's like, look, nah, I haven't been talking about you. And he does know who Zion is. He's a mid-level dealer. But Davis McLean, he walks in, he says, look, Zion is a client. I can talk to him. I can neutralize that. But Kane is like, nah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go there. I'm going to talk to him. And we know that Davis McLean, he's going to talk to Wiley and try to, work on the business part as far as Noma and those contracts, which he does. And he fixes things for her by the end of the episode. Now, Kane goes with Noma to talk to Zion. And we know Zion, he was still being very disrespectful right in front of Kane and, of course, Noma. And Kane is like, look, let's just take it to the ring since you keep running your mouth. Now, your boy Dougie Fresh, y'all know he is back once again in this episode. And if it wasn't for him, Zion probably would have got off because we know he had brass knuckles later on in the fight. Now, Kane was able to put those hands on Zion. I know a lot of people was talking about this was unrealistic or whatever. We know Kane did get shot at the end of season 3, but none of that matters. Remember, Drew got in a crazy car crash. Popped the Senzu bean, the boy was 100% healed. I could have sworn Monet lost a kidney, but y'all see what time she on. She be popping perks and she be back at it just like that on the scene. And then your boy Kane got shot in season 3. It didn't really seem like it bothered him in this fight. And of course, we know Zion, he basically got disqualified for using those brass knuckles on some Logan Paul type stuff. I mean, it was crazy. Now, we know Kane was telling Noma, don't worry about Zion. He knows not to mess with you now. But Noma's like, man, screw all that. We need to be ready because we know he's going to retaliate. And she's right. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Zion, he ain't done yet. Now, Brayden and Tariq have a conversation. Brayden does tell Tariq that he had to tell Zion about Noma. Of course, he was upset about that. But Brayden was like, man, he was going to take me out. Now, Tariq is like, look, I am tired of being a pawn, being punked out by everybody. It's time for me to control the whole board. I'm about to be a father, so I got to make sure I control everything in order to protect my family. Basically, I got to become the apex predator Randy Orton up in here. That's what Tariq is thinking, right? And, Brayden, he's down with it. So we gonna see. Now, Tariq does say that he has to use every part of his dad, the good parts, the bad parts, and basically put it all together in order to defeat his enemies. He needs to gain leverage, and we know he doesn't waste any more time. He's back at Aya Covington. He wants to make sure he gets her on his side because we know when it's all said and done, that's going to be Noma's weakness, and it's going to allow Tariq to have more control. Now, we get to your boy Detective Don Carter. I don't know if he was on that acid, some shrooms. I don't know what the hell is up with him. I had to rewind it a few times just in case I missed something because I was like, I know I didn't see nobody in that room. Well, he talking to Denise, his dead wife, she gone. She up out of here. But apparently, Detective Don Carter, he does this every single day. I think he needs to go on Dr. Phil or something. That man needs to talk to somebody. But hey, they zoomed in on her face. I'm looking like, did we ever see this girl? Well, she does not look familiar to me. You guys let me know what y'all think. Did y'all see her in the OG Power? I don't think so, but it is what it is, man. Now, we get to Diana and Tariq. They have a conversation about what Diana is going to do. She wants to keep the baby. And we know Tariq, he is going to support her. He tells her that he is ready. He thought about it or whatever. We know he had that self-discovery moment on that acid, had him going crazy. But he wants to be there for his baby mama, Dirty Diana. Man, your boy Tariq, man, he definitely trying to change up, especially for this kid. But we know most likely it ain't going to end well. Now, we get to Noma. She is happy as hell that Davis McLean, he of course smoothed things over with Wiley Adams, so she is good as of right now as far as doing potential business with him. Now, of course, we know the two did hook up. Davis McLean, he plotted and planned, and now he has finally clapped Noma's cheeks. I mean, Noma, she hooking up with Kane. Davis McLean, she getting her freak on in season 4. She's definitely going out with a bang, literally. Now, we get to Drew and Monet. They find out about Noma's drop because Drew knows the location, he knows the route, and they go in. Of course, they take the guys out, but guess what? Guess who is there? Detective Don Carter and his task force. They've been trailing the Tejadas, and they've been waiting for this moment right here. Those perks had Monet shooting real crispy in this episode, and as soon as she did what she did, Don Carter popped out, and he let them know that he could arrest them. He could take them in, but he's not going to do that. Instead, he wants a cut off the top. 35%, I believe, right? His whole task force is dirty. And this is how he gets money. This is how he controls the board, by getting his cut from different, drug dealer organizations. So Don Carter is on one. We already knew what time it was. We knew he was going to be a dirty cop. I told you guys when Kamal Tate finds out, that's going to put his life at risk. And he's pretty much, going to be up out of here. We're going to see if that's going to be the case. But we know Monet and Drew, they pretty much agree because they're not about to go, get arrested and get taken in. And Don Carter, his whole thing is this: just don't kill innocent civilians. That's it. And the guy that they end up hiring, the soldier that they had, apparently he killed an 18-year-old 2 years ago. And Don Carter and his organization has been looking for this guy ever since. But now they have finally found him. I mean, this dude, he was like, look, y'all take Monet out. Know what I'm saying? She the boss, take her out. But Don Carter's whole thing is, if you take out innocent civilians, you gotta go. He don't care about drug dealers. He said, y'all can take any of those guys out, but leave innocent people alone. So Don Carter drops this guy off right in front of Drew. And he's telling them, like, look, this is the start of something special. So Detective Don Carter, he is on one. We already knew he was going to be the major threat in season 4. The question is, will he be taken out? Will he be one of those characters that they build up and drop off by the end of the season? Now, we get to Diana and Tariq. They go to the doctors, and of course, they get their ultrasound. Diana believes that the child is going to be a boy, and Tariq is like, look, how do you even know? He also tells her that in order to protect the family, he wants to make sure that he controls the board at all costs. That means basically he is still going to be in the drug game. And Diana, she ain't feeling that. She's like, hell nah. She ain't with the game plan. She believes that if they're involved in the drug game, it's going to put their family at risk, their child at risk, and she does not agree on what Tariq wants to do, right? And we know he was talking about Ghost and how Ghost wanted to protect them. He had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but that did not play out the way that he wanted it to. But for some reason, Tariq really believes that if he's in all the way, he gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. We already know what time it is. This storyline does not end well. Being in the game, regardless if you're at the top, eventually you gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? Your day will come. And this is what Ghost was trying to protect Tariq from. But apparently, this is the lifestyle that Tariq wants to continue to have. And we know Diana, she did ask Tariq about Salim. We know Tariq did tell her he ran into Salim, but that was it. He don't know what happened to him. Pretty much played it off. This is why the fans will continue to talk about Salim's character until we get that 100% answer from the show that he is really up out of here. And we ain't talking about what the actor's talking about. We talking about what the show is talking about. The answer needs to happen. We need to see a news report. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, confirm that he is really gone. But it is what it is. His power. This is what they do all the time. And we should find out in that second half of the season. But overall, as I told you guys earlier, it was an okay mid-season finale. I didn't really feed into the whole, sequence at Club Truth and all that stuff. I mean, I wasn't really too hyped about it because I knew Ghost was not going to return. It was just hyped up stuff that happens each and every season when, the fans make these theories about Ghost coming back. Now, I can't wait to see the second half. We got to wait 2 months. So, that is a little bit of time, but it should go by real quick. I will be doing the breakdown of that part 2 teaser. I'm pretty sure they will release another official trailer for part 2 of the show. And if any more information comes out, I will talk about it. We're going to continue to go over different fan theories and predictions, break down characters, and talk about some of the predictions for those characters in part 2 of the show. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.